Hey everybody, welcome back to two comic book dudes here on Comic Book YouTube channel. We're part of comicbook.com, and this is our new Comic Book Day Spectacular number 4.
Yeah, just 4.
So yeah, we could do two twos, or 3 and 1, whatever. Math.
We're like the 4 horsemen of apocalypse.
That's right. Yeah, actually, did I just read that one? The
Age of Apocalypse?
No, it was one of the Old Man Logan. That's what that was. The one. I was like, it's one of those Marvel books, from last week, and it was like Apocalypse. I'm Apocalypse, and you can't do that. And it's like, shut up.
Yeah. Shut up, big blue lips.
Yep, it's pretty good. That's actually one of the better ones that I'm reading out of those. So, but we're talking about this week's books. New Comic Book Day. We always try to do this video. I'm Aaron Clutter, Editor-in-Chief of Comic Booked, and with me, as always...
Hey everybody, I'm Justin. I'm the Managing Editor over at Comic Booked. And yes, this is books that came out on July 27th. Yay!
Well, actually 29th, because that's today.
Oh, crap, 29th.
But yes, you went in the Wayback Machine back to 2 days ago.
I was at Monday, still looking at the new Comic Book Day list.
Yeah. So today is the 29th, so all these books came out today. We're going to go through, like we always do, publisher by publisher. We'll show the comic book, and I will clearly pronounce the name of the series so that those of you who are listening at home and not actually watching us can hear what the comic book is, similar to what we usually do when we're doing our show. So
pretty much.
Yeah, that's right. Whether we're talking about an Image book or a Marvel book or DC book, we always try to talk about the book itself, maybe the series leading up to it. We had some good giveaways. We'll talk about that real quick. Over these last couple weeks, we're giving away these little guys, the Ant-Man plushie. All you had to do was go onto our Ant-Man video or our new Comic Book Day video or any of our videos and make a comment, hey, I want to win Ant-Man. And you could win one of those. But then we had a special thing for that. You had to figure out what was the association between The Walking Dead and Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. And it's very simple. Very simple. Yeah. Has to do with somebody who created a certain character, and there's an easy connection, and it has nothing to do with Agent Carter. So just so you know.
Yeah, nothing to do with it.
Yeah, there's still no correct answers on that, so we can extend that another week. If you know what the connection is between Ant-Man, the character of Ant-Man, and The Walking Dead, the series, comic book, whatever, then you can just say what that connection is, and you can win an Ant-Man plush from Bleacher Creatures. So pretty cool. Yeah. We also have a giveaway right now on our Facebook page. If you go to Facebook and search Comic Booked, there's our Facebook page. Pinned at the top is a giveaway from Geek Fuel, and I'm not sure how much longer that's going on. I think it's wrapping up pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. But it's just 2 more days.
I think so. I think it's just 2 more days. So you go in there, click on that link, and it's an exclusive link to our site, Comic Booked. You'll click into there, go to the Geek Fuel website, and you could win a variant cover of Civil War #1, the new Civil War series under Secret Wars. And I cannot remember the person's name who did the art, but he signs the book. So it's the only way you could get this was through this link. So
was it Alex Ross?
No. I don't know.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yep. So,
or if you click on the link, it will show you the book.
That's right. There's a lot of information there if you just click on the link and check it out. And I will tell you, Todd Knock is the artist. Yes, I had to check that real quick just to make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing. Don't anybody yell at us. So Todd Knock variant cover, Civil War #1, signed. Pretty cool. Very nice, awesome. Exclusive. Yep. Also, through our Thursday's Valiant effort, we're giving away a set of the Valiant Mini-Mates. So you want to go back and check out our last installment of Thursday's Valiant effort and watch that. And then all you got to do is comment there on that video to win a set of those. So pretty cool. And those are Toys R Us exclusives. So those are pretty hard to find.
And they come with a comic.
That's right. Actually, two, because you get the actual comic in there, and you get one you could download.
Awesome.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah, some really neat stuff. So let's take a look at books for this week. You want to start on the DC side? I have one DC book. So
I have two, and one of them is yours. So we'll just start with that one.
Okay.
He-Man: The Eternity War, issue number 8.
And I love this.
Yeah, I do too. I thought it was going to be over. A couple issues like issue 6, I thought it was going to end, and then 7 came out. Now I have 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I think it's good. They really are continuing the story. You know, he's still fighting against the hordes of Hordak, and you know that there's been some interesting developments with Skeletor and the eyes of Grayskull. And Skeletor has the eyes now, and they're going to use them to go through a portal. And you know, it's like, oh, what's going on? And this one really talks more about Adam, and you know, Prince Adam's not been able to turn into He-Man because of the power of Grayskull that Hordak's kind of usurped. But this goes through some of that, and there's it's pretty interesting. So Dan Abnett writes this. Great story so far. Really, oh yeah, I love that. It's awesome. And who's the artist on this one?
It is
Pop Man.
Yep.
And it's good. I mean, it's detail. It's big splashy. Like this is just the first inside. Huge bunch of people and splashy flashes and all kinds of cool stuff. So it's worth picking up. If you haven't read it yet, only 8 issues in, you ought to be able to find back issues for it. I would say this is one of the best DC books out right now.
Consistently, yes.
Yeah.
And also, if you're, don't be jaded looking at this book because it's He-Man. You're like, oh, He-Man. This is a really good like fantasy book with some like tech built into it too. So I mean, if you're a fantasy kind of person, if you like those kind of stories, this will be right up your alley. It's really, really good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so what's your other DC book?
Superman 42. Truth and Justice.
I looked at it.
It's it's John Romita Jr. His art, and that's the big sticking point. A lot of people just don't like his art on Superman. So, but I'm just really interested in this story that's going on.
Yeah, and it's good if the story can draw you away from the art. I hate to say that I feel like he's lazy, but I feel like I could never do what these guys do. I mean, I'm just not an artist. I can't do this. But he has had some great stuff in the past. This is not it. Captain America, like the Captain America series, that
his Daredevil run, Man Without Fear, was great.
Yeah, the beginning of the Captain America series where Captain America was in Dimension Z and all that stuff, that was really cool. But by the end of that, there were scenes where it's like, I'm going to put a monster here. Oh, he doesn't need eyeballs. He doesn't need a leg. It's like, did you just only get paid to draw half the page, or what happened there? So, and he's busy doing all these things. I'm sure that maybe the one little detail of putting a couple extra little scales on this guy didn't matter, but it just looks sloppy. And but again, I can't do this. I can't critique it too much, but I can say that I was disappointed with that, and so that's kind of kept me away from. I picked up the first issue of Superman when he was writing it, just to have a copy, but after that, I just couldn't bring myself to buy more. So
yeah, I did the same thing. I picked up the first issue when he took over doing the art, and the story was really good. That first issue, I thought, had a lot of like good character moments for Superman, where he was just like alone, and he called Batman, and Bruce, of course, was out, and he called Wonder Woman, and she was busy. So it was just like he was just sitting at home, being alone. It was just like it was a cool story that you don't see. So they've done some really good stuff with it. But yeah, it's just the art.
Yep. So, all right. Well, next book, we'll talk a little more about this tomorrow on our Thursday's Valiant Effort show. Ninjak number 5 came out from Valiant, and I got to pick up one of the variant covers, and I love these variants. I mean, really, really cool. This is the 1 in 10 variant, and it's pretty neat cover. So, Ninjak's been a great book. Ninja, he's a ninja, secret agent, and Matt Kent is writing it. Excellent series so far. Really have enjoyed this. So you want to know more about the Valiant stuff, you can always go back and watch our Thursday's Valiant Effort, or read any of the articles from comicbook.com as well. Catch up on all that Valiant stuff all the way back to December of 2013. So we've actually reviewed every book all the way back to that. So, all right. You don't have much for books this week, right?
No.
Okay. So we'll start through my
You
stack.
just dig in, and I'll jump in later.
All right. Well, I've got Hoax Hunters #5, Michael Morisi. Really good series. I've liked this. This is the second volume. It's from Heavy Metal. And it's pretty cool. I like the art because it's just, you have to look at this artwork, especially like that picture right there. Isn't that cool?
That's nice. Yeah.
I really like what they do with this book. Just the, a lot of different things. It's paranormal researchers and kind of the battles they have between them and these paranormal creatures and monsters, whatever. It's a cool book. So if you get a chance to pick this up, Hoax Hunters from Heavy Metal. Michael Morisi does the writing on it, and Steve Seeley also works on and then the art is by Christian Debari. Really cool. So it's a good book. Next one up is from Archie Horror, the horror line from Archie, and it's Sabrina #4, and it had a pretty cool cover. And I guess there were 2 covers, but I only ended up getting one of them. So I talked to the folks at my shop, and they're like, "Yeah, we thought there was a second cover, but it looks," and I said, "Well, this is all that's on the shelf." And he said, "Oh, well, maybe that's all we got." But this is the hat cover, and I think this is the variant. But this has been, you think about Archie books, and you think about blood and gore and all that kind of stuff, and you don't really connect those two. But this has been a freaking bloody, gory, scary book.
Yes, this is not the TV show.
No, this is good. It's been really good. I mean, it's definitely a very interesting series, and it's I would say it's probably something that the creator of Sabrina never expected to turn into, but it's good. It's good. So, all right, getting into some Boom books.
Boom.
So from the Boom box, Munchkin #7. Munchkin's been a great. I don't know if you play the Munchkin games, the Steve Jackson games. Any of Munchkin. Munchkin like Star Munchkin or Munchkin Bites or Munchkin Foo, Munchkin Impossible, The Good, Bad, the Munchkin. I mean, there's like
a lot of Munchkin titles.
There's a ton of Munchkin games, and they're all playable together. It's a card game. So you have the basic game, Munchkin.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Yep. You have 2 stacks of cards. One of them's a door stack, and one of them's treasure. Basically, you just go through. They say you always start out as a human with no class, which is a pun. But you can become a thief or whatever, and you can become a dwarf or an elf or a whatever as you go through the game. So you get weapons and different things to use and armor. And that helps you to defeat different monsters as you open the door. You flip from the door deck, and then you may run into a monster or a treasure or something that lets you go up a level. So basically, you end up. The battle is to get to level 10 from level 0. Yeah. And so each progression through, each round you go through, you fight monsters, you gain treasure, you lose treasure, you stab your buddy in the back. So it's pretty cool. But the neat thing about this series from Boom has been that each issue has an exclusive Munchkin card in the back.
Oh, wow.
So I have 7 issues, 7 exclusive Munchkin cards that I can then mix into my game. So pretty cool. I really like that. The stories are really funny. This issue and last issue have had one big section that's kind of movie parodies. So like in this one, they made fun of Titanic. They called it Titanic Monsters, and it was like Cthulhu waking up out of the ocean and made the Titanic sink. He's like, "Oh, my bad."
Oh gosh.
He says maybe this Shoggoth should be Shogun.
Oh.
It was really funny. Just hilarious. And very good writing. It's not so corny, but it's funny. As you go through. And then they did a play on Good and the Bad to Munchkin. And it was pretty good, but it's just fun stuff, It's a neat story. So, something interesting to pick up if you like Munchkin. And they do some variant covers and some special editions, but always with the cards in the back. And the cards are removable. You don't have to like punch them out.
Oh,
They're
cool.
stuck in there with that gum, so it's pretty cool. I've
Yeah, you
got
always hate the one that are like inside the book, and like you have to tear the preparation. You're just like, no, I'm leaving
Yeah.
it. No, it's fine.
Yep. And this one, it's neat because the back cover is multiple, like it shows all the cards from the other issues, and then the new card is always stuck in the slot where it'll show up the next time. So
Oh, cool.
it's pretty neat. Yeah. Yep. Next book from Boom, Escape from New York, number 8.
How's that going?
Oh, I really like this series. Snake Plissken is an awesome character to begin with, and to take this story and continue it on from basically the end of the movie and just keep going. It's been pretty cool. He went to Florida, nuked the entire peninsula of Florida. Now he's in Russia trying to help some military group, take out some Russians. And it's been pretty cool because they've sort of turned on him, and now he's trying to escape and save himself in the Russian winter. So it's
fun to be
cool.
stuck in Russia.
Yeah, but it's a neat book. So this is written by Christopher Sabella, and the art is by Diego Barreto. And I'll tell you, I like the art. It's kind of dark, but you can see, there's just a lot going on even in the dark.
But it should be dark.
It should be. It should be, and it's really cool. I like it. You get some. I don't know. This is an interesting book. You have to pick it up to read it and really get into what's going on. But it's a cool continuation of the movie. I like what they've done with that. And another Kurt Russell great movie was Big Trouble in Little China, and that series has been awesome. The 13, I think it was 12 or 13 that came out a couple weeks ago. And that series is really cool. And it was funny because in that one, it's he's pulled into the current time, because he died back in the 80s, and then he wakes up in 2015, and he goes back to Little China, and he meets up with this guy, and the guy tells him, "Oh yeah, and this happened, and this happened. The girl wrote a book about all of your adventures, and it's called Big Trouble in Little China." And the guy's like, "Yeah, they've made a movie about it." He looks at the poster, and he goes, "Oh, and they got Snake Plissken to play me. That's awesome. I love that dude."
Nice.
It was really
nice.
funny. Yeah. I like that. So
don't call me Plissken.
That's right. So my last book from Boom, and this is actually in the Archaea imprint, is Hacktivist, Volume 2, Issue 1.
Mm-hmm.
This first series was one of those where I saw it and I was like, that was the first Archaea book I picked up. I thought, well, I'm going to get that and just try it. Because for one thing, Alyssa Milano's name is on it.
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's interesting. And so she kind of teamed up with them, just like Bruce Boxleitner's doing on Lantern City. So Bruce Boxleitner teams up with some other writers on Lantern City, and Alyssa Milano's teamed up with some writers on Hacktivist. Alyssa Milano, Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing. It's really good. It's about these about these two guys who were friends, and they created this algorithm that allows them to really predict social trends and manipulate social trends. It's really cool. And they used their program in the beginning, in the first volume, to assist the CIA or FBI in manipulating this government. And then when, in the end, they kind of pulled out at the last minute and let the government step in and take over, the guys were like, but we were trying to free these people. And they're like, no, this is what we're getting paid for. And so the guy took the program and took off. And he went to the other country and he used it then to kind of subvert everything that the U.S. government was doing. So it was cool. So he becomes, a hacktivist. And that was kind of the whole thing. So I'm interested to see what happens with Volume 2, because Volume 1 kind of left it open. He's out there. We don't know what's going on. And the other guy kind of went to the window and he was like, what are you up to out there? So now we start to find out what he's up to. So it's
nice.
It's a
I already saw some pictures of Alyssa Milano was out at a comic shop. I guess it was out west.
Cool.
Signing books today. Signing those.
Awesome.
So that's cool.
Yeah, I wish we could get her over here on this side of the country and sign some books.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll try to contact her and see if we can get her on the show.
Maybe she'll be at Dragon Con.
Hey, maybe. That'd be awesome.
I'll find out.
All right. Move on to Dark Horse. Now, this is one of those books that, yeah, I didn't know what to think about it at first, and it's just been spectacular. Again, talk about Ninjak with Matt Kent writing.
Mhm.
This is Pastaways, and Matt Kent writes this one. I really like this book. It's just so crazy. This group of time explorers came back in time, 1,000 years or whatever,
Mhm.
and got stuck in the current time. Well, they can't do
Yep.
anything because if they do anything, it could
Mess up
change
the
all of
timeline.
time and space and screw the future up. So they're stuck. I love the way they do the covers because the cover's like a wraparound and has all
Nice.
kinds of stuff going on in it. Artwork is pretty cool. Here's some detail,
Oh well.
and that is thanks to Scott Collins does the art and the cover. Bill Crabtree does the colors. I like the colors, the way they're blended. Really neat. It's interesting because they not only do they do the story itself, but then in the like at the bottom here, you can see in red there's like descriptive text, some kind of little subtitle thing, and
Mhm.
it'll have a picture of something. It'll have a little red box around it, and then you'll draw to that line at the bottom. It'll explain what that thing was, kind of
Wow.
in past tense, like this was something back in that day that they used for whatever.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's the way it's put together, almost like a documentary of these guys seen from the future.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. But that's
That was your
Pastaways, number 5 from Dark
that was
Horse.
your only Dark Horse book today?
That's my only Dark Horse book today. Yep.
All right.
Is
So
there something else big?
no, I was just gonna say, as a special preview, keep watching this channel
Oh, that's right.
because we're gonna have a Dark Horse show.
Yep.
We haven't named it yet, but it's
Not yet.
coming.
That's right. And so we were talking about it. We're already doing Xenoscope on Mondays, Valiant on Thursdays, but between Xenoscope and Valiant, I mean, we may at the most have 4 books a week.
Sometimes,
And then this show, which we pretty much just go through, we don't really do a review of the books. We're talking about, hey, I just bought this and I haven't read it yet, but it looks really cool.
yeah.
And so with the Dark Horse stuff, we're actually going to read all that, and then we're going to tell you about each of the books. So we'll do a nice little slideshow at the bottom where we show you each of the covers and go through and review everything. So you can get a better understanding of that publisher and kind of some of the great stuff they're putting out, because there really are good books. I just had to limit myself. There's some things I just can't pick up every week. I know that's hard to believe, but so moving on, IDW. IDW had a couple of good books this week, but then I also picked this up, and this is the end for me. I'm done with Gem and the Holograms. So this is Gem and the Holograms number 5. It's been an okay series. The first issue was really good. I had to kind of reintroduce my kids to Gem on the animated show, and I got 3 daughters, and my 2 little girls really like it. So we've sat and watched it, and I thought, well, it'd be cool to pick up the books and have them. And I've been reading the story, and it's like, I don't know.
Gem and the Holograms.
It's not even like it's
Oh,
Gem
really?
and Holograms, and then kind of their battle with the Misfits, which is fine, but it's really ended up being more about like
The relationship.
how many gay characters can we have, and how many different relationships can be going on, and I just like not interested in that.
Yeah.
If it's Gem and the Holograms, it should be about their music, and it should be about their competition, and fighting back with the Misfits and doing all that stuff. And it's not about that. It's so much more about we have 2 lesbian characters from both bands who are like star-crossed lovers and blah. Okay.
But none of that was in the original Gem.
No. When she rubbed her ear and said it's Showtime synergy, it had nothing to do with getting naked and rubbing all over each other. So, yes.
Destroying our childhood.
Yeah, I don't know if
Time.
I don't know if it's because the writer of that show or that book is transgender, like surgically transgender,
Mhm.
or if that has something to do with it. If it's some kind of like personal, I don't know. I really don't. So I just kind of feel like that detracts from the whole story, though. That's not what it should be about. It should be about Gem and the Holograms as a band and the Misfits as a band and the interaction between the bands. And I feel like throwing this in is kind of a forced, I don't know, and I'll stop talking.
I don't know.
Moving on. X-Files. This was my most expensive book this week. It's like whatever. X-Files Annual 2015 came out, and I like the X-Files series so far. This kind of wraps up. Really, it's it's a standalone story, but it's the high school reunion issue, if you want to say,
Oh wow.
for Mulder. So it's kind of cool. It looks like a pretty good story. It's got a really nice, the cover is their like high school yearbook pictures almost, um, and then the artwork is typical good X-Files book art so far. So it looks pretty cool.
That raises a good question though. I wonder if in high school if he was called Fox.
And that's his first name.
I know,
Oh, I see.
but we always just call him Mulder.
True. True. That's true.
His sister was the only one who called him Fox.
That's true. So it's hard to tell.
Mhm.
We'll see. I guess when I read it and find out about him going back to his reunion, what people called him. So anyway, pretty good. $7.99, a little pricey, but if you like to get the annuals always have a cool story, and it does dig a little deeper into the characters. But it's
And we're getting new X-Files soon, so who knows if
Well,
this is going to lead into some of that or not.
actually there is an X-Files season 11 that IDW is going to be doing, so a regular series, and I haven't heard yet if it's really going to tie in. I think what they're talking about is that season 10, which is officially season 10 of the new series coming in January, is going to kind of shoehorn in, and I'm just not sure how the comic books are going to play into all that. And they always have a hard time with that. It's like nobody ever expected there to be another X-Files series, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think
especially not after this long.
No, I mean there was a couple movies, and the movies they were okay, but they weren't
Yeah.
like spectacular,
Live
and it
up to the
always
show.
no, and it's always had a solid cult following. We still watch it on Netflix.
Yep.
In fact we went back through and we've gone through season 1. We're going through season 2 now, just trying to watch all the seasons before the new season comes out. But nobody knows how the things are going to kind of mesh together if the comic books are just going to be completely separate and not come in. It'd be like if there was a new Buffy series. Then you got all the Buffy stuff, or Charmed, from
Yeah.
Xenoscope. Xenoscope has the Charmed season 10. Well, what if they decided to do another season of Charmed? Well, would it tack on to the end, and would they stop making the comics, or would that just be different stories about the same characters? It's hard to tell. Continuity
Alternate reality.
right. Let's say continuity is a fickle mistress. So
That's right.
all right, now I'm down to Image. So
And Marvel.
and yeah, Marvel. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Image books this week.
Go for it. I got 1.5 Image books.
1.5.
One's a back issue
Oh, okay. Well,
of the same series, though.
Rick Remender, one of my favorite writers right now. Him and Dan Abnett, probably my 2 favorites right now. And Remender has a couple of books Image books that I really, really like. One is Black Science, which was for the last issue was a couple weeks ago. The other is Low.
Yeah.
And Low is an awesome book. I mean, the artwork on this is amazing. The storyline is really deep. Haha, pun, because it's under the ocean. Yeah. But it's definitely a deep story. It's at first it was hard to get into, like that first issue, just trying to figure out what was going on because so much happened in the first issue. But this is issue number 8.
And it's beautiful.
Oh, it is. I mean, the art is just amazing. Let me find a shot. Yeah, here we go. Just the way they do a layout like that.
Yep.
Really cool. And the art on this is well, Rick Remender and Greg Ticini do the work on this book, the writing, and I think McCaig is the guy's name that does the art. See, I'm looking for it in here, but I don't see. There we go. Now, Greg Ticini does the artwork, and the McCaig is the colorist. So Remender's the writer, Ticini does the art, and it's cool. I mean, it's really good.
Yes, it is.
It looks
Definitely.
like maybe are they taking a break after this? So I was just going to check and see.
They may. What issue is that?
8. No,
They
no, not yet.
may go to 10. They'll probably go to 10 because then they can take a break while the trade's out.
That's true. That's true.
Because
But this is good.
the first volume's out, it's only $10. If you're looking
Yeah.
for a good book to get into, if you really like art and just visually, this book is amazing. So
Yep.
check that out.
And it's kind of a sci-fi fantasy. I mean, there's so much to it. You know, you have this underwater world that people moved underwater because the surface dried up, the suns were hot or whatever. So they go down in the ocean because there's like nothing above.
Mm-hmm.
And now the resources have run dry, and the family that has the last one of these armors basically is trying to protect everybody, and they get overtaken by pirates, and the armor gets stolen, and a couple of their kids get taken, and the husband gets killed, and it's like the mom is the only one left, and she's wicked. I mean, she's tough, and she goes after her kids, you know, and it's pretty cool. Just that the family's pretty much come back together now, and you just have them getting their revenge. So it's cool. It's been a good series.
Good deal.
All right. Well,
I'm
I'm
interested to see what of your like 8 image books, if you got the image book I got.
Well, I'll just keep going then. How about that?
Yeah, just go.
All right. Invisible Republic. Have you read
What
this?
issue's that on? No.
This is Invisible Republic number 5.
Okay. Not far
Gabriel
away.
Hardman writes this with Karina Bechko, who does the art, and I like the art on this too. I mean, it's darker. It's not real vibrant, but it's a lot of detail and really cool layouts. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can see how this is not like a typical page layout. It's pretty cool. I like.
Yeah,
that.
no, that's broken crazily.
Yeah, but it's really neat. This is an interesting story. It's about a writer who's trying to find this big story,
Mm-hmm.
and he comes across this journal that this guy's basically burning for heat, and he takes the whole thing, and I mean it's a big stack of paper, and he just runs off with it, throws it in the duffel bag. Now these people are trying to kill him over it. Well, it turns out to be this journal of this girl who was like the traveling companion of Arthur McBride, and he was this dictator. And he had what they call the Mallory regime. They ruled Avalon, which is this world, for many years. And
Mm-hmm.
people had one idea about him, but this diary, this journal, tells a whole different story about this guy. And so if this ever comes public, yeah, it could be really bad. So it's cool because right now the regime's pretty much been overthrown. So it's almost like, why does this story still matter? But it does. There's still people trying to kill this guy to get it. So it's cool. He's on the run, and while he's on the run, he's reading through the journal, and then there's pieces of the story that are being told in the issue, and then there's pieces of his story as he's trying to get the book in the right hands to get it published. So it's cool. It's a good one, and it's only $2.99, which is great. I like that about the image books.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is an excellent one. Invisible Republic number 5. How about Globs Hates Mastronauts?
Nope.
Or God Hates Astronauts, whatever. Just depends on how they want to tell it. This is issue 10.
Cow nuts.
This book is is hilarious. I love this book. I really do. It's so stupid and funny and just completely over the top. I mean, you've got King Tiger eating a cheeseburger, who is this tiger with a crown, and he always has a cheeseburger in his hand. He's always eating his cheeseburger. And he's got these crab people who are people with little crabs for heads that are, the crab armada is coming to Earth to take over because his son, Prince Tiger eating a cheeseburger, was killed by accident. So it's just this whole dumb thing. But you've also got this team of superheroes who are just like the worst, most dysfunctional people ever. And all this time travel that's mucking everything up. You have, it's just, some of the stuff is just so outrageous. Like that's one of the shots from interior of the book.
Jeez.
You got a guy with a giant head, and he also has this is his normal version. That's his wife, and that's his horse head version, and that's his big giant swelled up head version, all from different times. And they're all together right now trying to save the world. And they're really just trying to save their daughter, but it's just so dumb. Ryan Brown writes this, and Jordan Boyd and Ryan Brown do the coloring, and then and Ryan Brown does the artwork too. So it's good, and it's always so funny. I mean, from the very start, the interior stuff here, where they do all the little jokes and stuff in the credits, and then they almost always have. Well, I guess not this time, but they have something on the back where it talks about the comments from different people about the book, and they've interspersed this whole story about Snapple fruit drink, and this lady who's like the heir to the Snapple empire. I mean, it's just so much funny stuff. And then there's always like little extra stories in there that are that's really hilarious. So God Hates Astronauts. It's gross, funny, stupid. It's a great book. Really has been excellent. So it's worth picking up.
What issue is that?
Number 10.
Number 10. So okay.
Yep. Yeah. So I've seen back issues at my shop, and there's one or two covers, which and the artwork is beautiful. It really is good.
Awesome. I've seen it several times. I just haven't picked it up. I want to. I just haven't.
Yeah, it's good. It's one of those where you really need to go back and get the first issue.
Yeah.
And read through the series. Now, this is actually like volume 2 because the first issue was actually a web-based series. But they did put out a trade with the whole first, I don't know how many issues. I want to pick that up because that original story would be interesting to see.
It probably, normally Image does 5. So 5 issues per trade.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Because it was a web comic, I'm not sure how they did it. But the first volume, the first volume's out there to pick up and just in a trade because it was a web comic. And then the second volume, I think there's 2 trades so far, or there will be with the 10th issue out now. So, all right.
I saw it.
How about something from Jim Zub? Wayward, the new book. Wayward number 10. This is a great series. There's a little girl who her father's Irish, her mother's Japanese, and her father passes away. She passes away, I guess, so she has to come live with her mom in Japan. And I like Jim Zub's writing. He's excellent. But this is cool because it delves into Japanese mythology. So you've got, in the very first issue, you got Kappas attacking her, the demon things.
Yeah, I did pick up issue 1 and 2, but then missed 3 and 4 somehow and have just fallen off. So it's up to 10.
But it's, it's cool. Here's some neat artwork.
Nice.
Very detailed. Really cool. And the artwork is Steve Cummings does the line art, and Tamara Bonvillain does the colors.
Yeah,
so it's cool.
And I think bringing in the Japanese mythology and things like that, that's that really hasn't been done that much. I can't really think of too many books that delve into that much at all. So that's something that brings in maybe an American audience to something we didn't know about.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Some of the stuff's reminiscent of like the Hayao Miyazaki stuff, Spirited Away, or some of those stories. Even Kiki's Delivery Service, those kinds of stories. But then it's more a modern day setting, and it's really interesting because like this girl has this power to see the threads, and she finds out that her mother's a weaver, she's a weaver, and she can kind of weave the threads of fate in a way, and she doesn't realize until like last issue or issue before that she can change stuff. And she starts like screwing stuff up. This one girl, like her she is part of their group now, but her parents are like deathly afraid that something's going to happen to her, and they're just so worried about her, even though they know she can't come home. So the girl goes in and she says, "I'm going to make you forget," and she plays around with the threads, and they forget about her.
They forget about their daughter.
Yeah, she erases the memory of the daughter. It's like, that's awesome. It's pretty cool. So she's got some power, and she's got to learn to control it without letting it go to her head. So it's pretty cool.
Jeez. That'd be funny though. Like, what do they do when they like walking through the house and they like walk into the daughter's bedroom and they're like, "Why did we decorate this room like this?" It's so weird.
Yeah, it's interesting. But it's really good. There's so many different characters. Each character has a different kind of power. There's a guy that eats souls in order to survive, and he eats like the evil souls of these evil creatures that he fights. But it's cool. It's just a mix of characters that are very unusual. It's almost like a manga, almost like reading a manga, but it's well put together. Really good story.
Nice.
All right, Spawn. No. Okay. Spawn 254. You know, I don't know how much more I'm going to read this. I like the story kind of leading up to the resurrection, the Spawn resurrection. You know, you have Al Simmons back, the original Spawn now, which has been cool. But then since 250, and of course I missed issue 250 because for some reason my shop decided that I needed everything up to 249 and Spawn Resurrection, but not issue 250. Like
it was like a $10 book.
Okay.
Though, so.
Yeah, but I still wanted a copy. Okay. Anyway, but now it's just kind of like, hey, I'm Spawn again.
Yay.
Okay, so what happened? You know. Anyway, so I missed something probably with 250, and I need to pick it up. But this one, you know, it's been a pretty good series. The artwork is Spawn artwork. This one looks maybe like it introduces some new characters. There's a cool angel guy.
Oh wow.
I don't know. So I don't know. It'll be. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I got one more.
What? It has to be the one I got. It is
Mythic.
not the one I got.
Okay. Phil Hester and John McCrea do this book. Mythic number 3 is out this week. This is an excellent series. It really is really cool. Now, if you're not picking this up, I would recommend you going out and getting this book.
Okay.
So what I mean, this about sums it up. When magic gets messy, we clean it up.
Nice.
That's their job. When something happens in the real world related to magic, their trash truck shows up and they have to clean it up. So it's pretty cool. The last issue, there was this giant that was like attacking an island, and something happened because you know, whatever was going on. And then there was something else about the was that? Yeah, that was last issue. So the mountains and okay, so there was a drought, and the mountains and the sky hadn't had sex for a long time, so there was a drought, and so they had to, like, you know, influence the mountains that the sky was really sexy and they needed to get back together. It was pretty funny.
Give the mountain the purple pill.
Yep, there's just some funny stuff. Very, very interesting series. In fact, this was one of the books that they did an exclusive comic block cover for, I believe.
Yep.
So issue 1, which is cool. But yeah, Phil Hester, John McCrea. It's really cool. It's a good series, and it's something you can still get in on the ground floor because this is just issue 3.
Yep.
Okay. That's my Image stuff.
My Image book. My 1.5. Copperhead.
I have not read that at all. Any of that series.
I hadn't either. This is issue number 9.
Okay.
And it was a suggestion from somebody that works at my comic book shop.
Mm-hmm.
She said she loves it and kind of gave me like kind of the gist of it, like kind of space cowboy-esque type thing.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of. And I mentioned a couple shows that I like that were kind of in that genre, and she said, you need to pick up this book. So picked up number 9, and then I picked up number 1.
Okay, that's cool.
So,
At least you can still get it. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, it's the second print.
Yeah, still.
They had the first print, but I didn't want to pay for the first print.
Yeah, a lot of times that's what you got to do. It's like, really? Yeah, I have a few here on my shelf that I'm missing the first issue, and it's like, how can I miss the first issue and then pick up 2, 3, and 4? And I can't read 2, 3, and 4 because I don't have issue 1. I don't want to start in the middle of the story. So yeah. Well, one of the other Image books.
That
is cool.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
really nice.
it looks really good. So
yeah,
I'm excited to read it.
Yeah. Well, one of the big Image books, which I don't get because I don't buy this book, but you know, Matt Fraction's Sex Criminals number 11 came out today.
Yep.
And it was a big deal because it was in a plastic bag. And
well, there were 2 different ones. There were 2 different plastic bags.
Okay.
One plastic bag was $2.99.
Okay.
The other plastic bag was $3.69.
Oh, okay.
Get it? Get it?
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
They even point to the price and say, "Get it."
That's funny. So randomly inserted, you would potentially get a sketch. There was a little square on the front, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was only for the 369 bags. The
Yeah,
299 bags were not eligible for that.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, you could get a sketch of, all kinds of different things. Mostly
and
penises.
Well, yeah, and this it's issue 11. It starts a new arc, so maybe it's a good place if you're a mature reader. You can pick this up. I'm reading it in trade. I have the first volume. The second volume, I think, just came out. I need to pick up. I just decided that was the way I was going to go with that book because I heard about it late and just kind of wanted to, we know what the book's about. I just wanted to see what it was, and it's actually a good story. But
it's not one of those that I ever picked up. I heard about it was coming out. I'm like, I just can't add one more book right now. But all the hoopla is around the book itself, and the covers, the potential sketches and stuff that you can get. So yeah, yay. Anyway, Marvel.
On to Marvel.
We always kind of wrap up the show with the Marvel books. Marvel's doing Civil War right now. If you didn't know that, then I guess
Secret
you're
Wars.
living in a hole.
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars. So we can talk about. There wasn't an actual Secret Wars book this week. There were just a bunch of little spin-off books.
Yeah, there were tie-ins. Yeah, there were tie-ins.
Yep.
And one of them is amazing. Or what I think is going to happen in it.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first? Do you want to
go first? Go ahead.
Did you get Thor's number 2?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Here we have a dead Thor, right?
Yep.
Where have we seen a Thor die? Squadron Sinister.
See, I haven't been reading that one.
I know. But that's the only Thor that, I think the Cabal killed a couple when they got out of their boat ship thing.
Yeah.
Raft.
And Old Man Logan almost killed one too.
Right. But so far, this is the only one, and still no one knows how this Thor died, who killed this Thor. So this could be really fun.
Interesting. Yeah. We'll see. I was, I don't know. The first issue was good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how number 2 goes. Yep.
It's Thor Cops. Thor Cops.
Yeah, really. Okay, well, let's see. We'll go ahead and stick with the Secret Wars theme here. I picked up 1602, Witch Hunter Angela. Yep.
Nice.
Was it the same cover?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if there was another cover or not. This is issue 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the number. Part 2. It says at the top there. So, yeah.
Beautiful
first
art.
issue. First issue was pretty good. I like the 1602 setting, and throwing Angela in the mix as kind of a witch hunter. It's pretty cool. So this will, we'll see. And this is featuring Ye Old Guardians of the Galaxy. So should be.
I didn't even notice it. You can see Drax there.
Says right there on the front. It says featuring Ye Old Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my gosh! And the Groot person. I didn't even realize. I just grabbed the book and Rock. Oh, is there? Okay. Yep, I'm in for this one.
Yeah.
Reading this as soon as we're done.
Looks good. All right. What's next?
My favorite, Daredevil issue number 17.
I didn't get that one.
Well,
I've been watching the series.
You'll get, after Secret Wars, you're going to get a new one. He's going to have a kind of black outfit and be training a guy that looks like Gambit. So
he's going to be a cyborg too, right?
Yeah.
Undead cyborg.
Who knows? But I'm going to buy a red 3-piece suit, and I'm going to cosplay the crap out of this cover.
There you go. And be like, I'm blind.
I'm colorblind. Does that count? I'm a colorblind comic book fan.
There you go.
That's got to be I got to be in a super minority.
Yeah, I would think. Well, then you'd really like
see the books.
You'd really like black and white books then.
I do.
So all those indie books that I send you, you're like, these are beautiful.
I can see everything. That's why you just hear me say this book looked great. I don't really talk about the colors because I'll talk about a color and it's not the color you see.
Yep, like those purple stormtroopers in Star Wars.
Yeah, what's up with that? That was weird. I'm not afraid of those guys. Why are you afraid of those guys? Crazy Barney running that shit.
Yeah, really. All right. Well, my next book is Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies.
Nice. Did not get that
And
one.
this is number 2. And this is one of those books where it's kind of like they got done with all the other books, and then they're like, what else do we have left? Oh, well, let's just fill a book with as much crap as we could possibly throw in there. So let's do the Age of Ultron and Marvel Zombies and all this other. It's a wild book. It's pretty cool. Marvel Zombies came out last week, and that's got Bloodstone. What's her name? Ulysses Bloodstone's daughter. I can't remember her first name, but anyway, it's got her.
Those have to be 38 and 39 because they're bordering each other.
They're inside the shield.
Yeah, on the other side of the wall. So that would be Limbo and the Deadlands. No, the Deadlands and Perfection.
There's three worlds there. Because there's the zombies, there's the zombies, there's the Age of Ultron guys, and there's somebody else.
The Annihilation Wave.
Yes, all in there. So, yeah, and it's good. It's been a pretty interesting story. So, it throws in. Of course, you got all the zombies, you got the Ultrons back and forth, and it's kind of one of those crazy action books. It's just like a bunch of people die and then they come back to life and they die some more, and fun. Yeah. All right, what's next?
I got one more.
Oh, okay. Well, it's this one, right?
Nope.
Oh, you didn't get Star Wars. That's right. I remember. Okay, well, Star Wars.
That was a cool cover, though. I like that. Yeah,
Star Wars number 7. They've done the variant edition with the action figure covers, which I think are really cool because they do really look like there's a stormtrooper and I could like pick him right out. Oh no, he's not there.
It looks. It looks like exactly what I would go to the store and buy when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's the flat stormtrooper. So it's cool. This has been a good series. I've really liked this series so far. This continues on from the end of A New Hope, so episode 4, and continues on that story. And it's cool because it's filled in some gaps. It's given us some interesting insights into Luke and Han and Leia, everybody. So it's good. Been good. I like that. I've liked all the Star Wars stuff so far. I haven't read one of those series that I haven't liked. Even Kanan, the Last Padawan's been pretty interesting. And that's kind of wrapping up, I think.
Yeah, I think it's only got one issue left, too.
Yeah, number 5. So I got one Marvel book left. So what do you got?
X-Men 92.
I didn't get that.
Number 2. I love the cartoon. Loved it. And if you liked X-Men the animated series, you need to get this book because that's exactly what it is, and it's great.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, I like that they're doing kind of a what if that continued and had its own world.
Yeah.
So, it is good. I think the whole Civil War idea has been pretty cool. Or, I'm sorry, Civil War. Secret Wars idea. Civil War's in there.
It is.
I'm subliminally messaging people to go check out our Facebook page and win a copy of Civil War number 1.
Variant covers are the best.
That's right. At least that's what the industry wants you to think.
Exactly.
We had a long discussion about this today with the comic shop owner. So he just, had some things to say about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool because it's an ability. It gives the writers an ability to delve back into some of these worlds that maybe they don't get to delve into very often, and on a regular monthly basis, which is cool. And have them interact with each other in ways that you normally wouldn't have them interact. So it's an interesting,
Yeah, they did something weird with this one too. With X-Men 92, they released it digitally first. So they may be up to like issue 3 or 4 already digitally.
Interesting.
Before we get it. So I don't know why they did that. What the plan behind that was, but
yeah, unless it's just because it was an animated series and they're trying to, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Whatever. I'm buying it physical.
Well, my last comic for this week, I had to get this just because I like Deadpool. Deadpool's Secret Wars. In this one, he gets a cool new black suit.
Nice.
But this is hilarious because, right from the start, it tells you this is not a tie-in.
Right.
and it takes the normal Secret Wars front page and it scratches off all the crap at the top, and then it talks about Deadpool's Secret Wars. And it's really funny because it's always been him kind of insinuating himself into the old Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So the original Marvel superhero Secret War,
from '84,
from '84, and then Secret Wars 2, and then even the Contest of Champions from back in the '70s.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's been very interesting. And you can't. Let me see here. Where did I just see that? Go back here. Yeah, you can't pass up a chance to see. What's his name? Yeah, you can't pass up a chance to see Thunderball getting shot in the face. From the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah,
It's like bam, 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 bam. I mean, he's invulnerable, but still, let's shoot him in the face. So it's really funny.
it's got a sting.
Yeah. So it's very comical. It's typical Deadpool kind of jokes. What's neat is this is set. There is the actual Secret Wars setting, and because of something that happens, he gets healed on Battleworld, and so you've got him going. Now he's going to get a new costume just like everybody else did, and he's trying to help these kids find their way home, and these creatures find their way home, and it's been a pretty good series so far. So typical Deadpool-y kind of stuff, but Cullen Bunn does a good job. So yeah.
And we're all anxiously awaiting the movie.
Yeah, and that'll be coming up February, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, and speaking of movies, we got the potential train wreck of Fantastic Four coming out. And,
they pushed it a week early.
Oh, so it's this week or next week? It's next week, right?
It's next week, but originally it was going to be like the 14th or something like that, or something. Whatever I know they bumped it a week.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's next week coming out. So
like,
sure, one of us will go see it, and we'll tell you how wonderful it is. I don't know.
Fingers crossed that it's good. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, I like the other two movies.
I did too.
I'm probably in the minority there, but I enjoyed them. I even liked the crappy, was it Roger Corman version that was done back in the 80s?
Yeah.
And I actually think Thing looks better in that than he does in the new movie. But
yeah,
I don't know.
He doesn't have eyebrows.
Yeah, which is like a standard thing,
right?
How could you take away that thing from the Thing? And it's
right.
like
things is things.
Yeah. Although in Future Imperfect, Thunderbolt Ross is the Thing, and he kind of looks like that. He has kind of the smooth head he's got like little ridges, but he doesn't have the big pronounced rock eyebrows like the Thing always had. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's it for this week. Lots of comics. Please give us some comments. Let us know what you picked up that maybe we didn't. Let us know if you got a copy of Sex Criminals #11 and you got a sketch. Cover. Yeah, if you got a sketch, send us a picture and we'll put it up. Probably not. You never know. It's a big penis. Lots of pictures of penises.
Yeah, maybe not
today from people who open their books, and one guy got a little penis doing chin ups, and anyway, it's awesome stuff. All about the jokes,
That's right.
So we appreciate you taking the time to watch us. I know out of your busy day to take an hour to listen to us ramble on about comic books. Hopefully, you've heard about some good books that maybe you want to go out and pick up. Let us know what you're reading that we're not reading, or let us know what you think about the stuff we're reading. Let us know if you think we made a mistake, and we'll tell you how wrong you are. All that good stuff. So don't forget to check our Facebook page, Two Comic Book Dudes. All of our videos get posted there, as well as all of our articles get shared on the Comic Booked website and Facebook page. And you check us out on the Twitter account and all the different places. We're all over the place.
Yep.
So we look forward to likes, shares, subscriptions, all that good stuff from you guys. Questions, if you got questions. Otherwise, we'll see you here same time next week.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody.
All right. Thanks.